All right, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump told a pre-inauguration rally that he would halt the invasion of immigrants at the border as he promised to fix every single crisis facing the nation. The president-elect has said that he will sign 100 executive orders on the first day in office.
We're going to stop the invasion of our borders. We're going to reclaim our wealth. We're going to unlock the liquid gold that's right under our feet, liquid gold.
Now, Trump promised that he will act with historic speed and strength after becoming the U.S. president. At the rally, Trump was joined on stage by Elon Musk, the tech tycoon, who is set to lead a major cost-cutting drive in his administration. The SpaceX boss promised to make America strong for centuries.
This victory is the start, really. What matters going forward is to actually make significant changes, cement those changes, and set the foundation for America to be strong for a century, for centuries, forever.
Earlier in the day, Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance each laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. Watching from a distance were Trump's wife Melania, Anusha Vance, wife of J.D. Vance. Trump, who landed in Washington on Sunday, is staying at the historic Blair House before moving back to the White House. Now, Blair House is larger than the White House itself, with 119 well-decorated rooms dedicated to welcoming foreign leaders or providing a venue for high-stakes diplomatic talks. Trump will be administered the oath of office by U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts. The swearing-in ceremony has been moved inside due to dangerously cold weather forecast for Washington. It would be for the first time in 40 years that a president would not be sworn in on the Capitol steps. The U.S. Capitol Police said that outside ticketed areas at the Capitol would be closed, so even if people want to gather, they cannot do so. D.C. Police helicopter will be in the sky watching for crowd at the time of the ceremony. The helicopter's onboard cameras are equipped to read license plates from 10,000 feet above, sending back live video to the department's real-time crime center. Now, for more on this, we're joined by Richie Greenberg. Greenberg is a Republican political commentator and is joining us live from San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Now, to begin with, President-elect Donald Trump has a host of day one items on the agenda. Immigration appears to top the list. What will the first 24 hours of Donald Trump in office look like?
Well, it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very interesting as well. As we have learned in the last couple of days, the situation is actually very fluid. There's information that has been slowly given to us by the advisors and others that have the information of what exactly Mr. Trump is going to do once he becomes president at noon tomorrow in Washington. We're going to be watching. I'm excited. A lot of us here on the West Coast, we're 3,000 miles away, and we are 3 hours behind West Coast time. So we're still Sunday night here. And the information that we're getting shows a change. Of course, as was mentioned, that the ceremony has been moved indoors. And now we have learned that there's going to be approximately at least 200 executive orders, not 100, but 200, which is part of what he promised. He promised immediately to be signing these different things that are going to secure our border and other kinds of actions that are going to make immediate change here in America.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much for telling us that it's 200 executive orders. Of course, it remains to be seen how that will pan out. Donald Trump has also decided to stall the TikTok ban. We've seen how the Trump dollar has performed in the run-up to his inauguration. What's your assessment of that?
Well, right now, from what I can tell, this is something that he actually used TikTok very effectively in his campaign. And so I don't think that he's willing to want to give that up immediately, but it may not be in his hands. And the reason is because this was a congressional action, a law that was passed by Congress, and it was upheld after review by the Supreme Court. So whether or not the executive branch, the presidential branch, is able to override what the other branches have already done that will be something that we'll have to see as well. He'll for sure try to make at least a 90-day moratorium on the ban, and we're hearing different groups that want to come together and potentially buy the U.S. version, the operations, but we'll have to see what happens with that.
Right, and we know that Elon Musk is playing a significant role in the incoming Trump administration. He will be leading the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. What do you reckon are some of the big cost-cutting measures to be brought in, and how do you also analyze the role of Musk in the incoming administration?
Well, it's very interesting that you have Musk in this role. Many people have been concerned that he is not someone who has been vetted, which is kind of interesting because he is among the most successful and richest men in the world. So to vet him seems, in my opinion, a little ridiculous, but he's very effective as a business leader, and that's what's important. This particular department that is being created is a business. It's looking at business. It's looking at efficiency. It's looking to see how can you cut government waste. And as we have learned over the years, especially here in such blue cities as Democrat cities as New York and Chicago and Los Angeles, and especially here in San Francisco, which is where I'm based, there is a tremendous amount of government waste. There is duplicative government departments where, and this is for example, in government programs and how they administer these programs and who is hired and whether or not you have multiple people doing the same job, just for example. That's the kind of government waste that they're going to look for, and they're going to cut that.
Right. Well, Mr. Greenberg, thank you so much for joining us on WION World as One. You're right. Of course, we'll all be watching for the inauguration speech and the ceremony, of course. Lots to discuss after that, I'm sure. Thank you so much for joining us for now.
Thank you. My pleasure.